Thanks for tuning in to another episode here at the Brick Abbey. This is going to be an organization video where we just sort of put the pieces in order. And we are trying to keep these videos a little bit shorter than we used to do. I don't know what that means necessarily for the organization vids, because sometimes it takes me a little bit longer to organize them. So obviously let us know what you think. We're kind of trying to adapt a little bit to what we think people might like a little bit more maybe than the longer videos. So let us know. We're gonna kind of do some grouping just initially so that I can get these set. I'm excited to do one of these bust sets. It's the first one that I'll be doing. We got them all, at least, well, not all of them. We got all of them from the first group. And other than the box being a little bit beat up, you know what, I didn't double check. Actually, now that I'm saying all this, there was 5 bags. Yeah, okay. I was like, there was 5 bags. Hopefully the instructions aren't calling for 6 or something. That would be terrible. I'd have to go pursue a refund. That's never fun. I'm the kind of person that it depends on the amount of money, because if it's going to be like a headache to get the refund, I will. This makes my wife so mad. She's like, just return it. I'm like, yeah, but I got to, print a label and, do something other than what I'm doing right now. And I don't want to do that, right? So that's just laziness. Isn't it funny how the littlest things can provoke laziness? It's interesting. Something minor can seem like an absolute mountain. I remember when I was in college, I would have to remind myself of that when it was like time to do an assignment. I would try to break it into pieces. So, the first part of like a research paper, I would go get as many books as I could. And then that was it. That's all I would do that day. I'd check that box. I'm like, okay, I can take it off my mind. I can shove it to the side and not think about it because I did what I needed to do that day. And then the next day, I would go through as many books as I could and just get quotes, right? I'd be like, okay, I got, 10 books. I'm going to go through, 3 of them and get as many quotes as I can. And the next day, do 3 more, right? Like break up the books, maybe even break up the books according to subject matter. And, cool. There's the title, The Mandalorian. And that way, every day, I was kind of chiseling away at the paper. Because there was always those dummies that would be like, they'd wait till the night before and be like, oh, I got a research paper to do tonight. And they would just be miserable. Like trying to write a research paper in one night. Any experienced professor can tell that you've done that. So, and I knew some of the professors that were, they were keen to that reality. And I think they would grade you a lot more harshly when you would do that, because it's like, all right, you want to wait till the last minute. I'm not going to cut you any slack. But, they could tell somebody who had kind of taken the time to, plan and prepare. And so they'd be a little more lenient, like if you made a mistake or something. I think that was, it's like the spirit of the grading is as important as the rule. But that was kind of how I did it. That I think that kind of helped me not be a lazy student, because I think it's easy. It's so easy to be a lazy student. No one makes you go to class. Your mom's not cracking the parental whip. Go to class or you're gonna like lose privileges or something. So kind of have to do it yourself, and it's at a stage of life where if you haven't really done that before, you'll you'll quickly find out just how hardworking you really are. And but that always helped me. You know, you break it into parts, and then that way it's not this big overwhelming thing. Like, even like, get yourself like a dry erase board or something, right? And like write the parts out and just put a day of the week next to it. And so, you know, you're like, Monday, going to the library, getting all the books. And you put that check mark, and then it's out of sight, out of mind. You can move on to your other assignments, your other classes, you know, whatever it is you have to do or study for. You did what you needed to do that day for the research paper, right? And then it's Tuesday, okay? I got to grab 3 of the books and got to get note cards made. Do it, and then reward yourself. Take a break. Go play frisbee or hacky sack. You know? Go hang out in the quad, you know? These are things that kids these days going to college probably like, what is that? What is that, bro? Like, when I get some free time, I'm hopping on the video game. Well, that was common when I was there too. Video games. People would pizza all over the place, and it's like they don't get beyond it, you know? It's like some of the high school tendencies. I can't do that now. I'm 42. My body's like, bro, what are you doing? Can't eat like that. I ate the wrong thing. I don't know. My stomach will bother me for a couple days. You know, you sleep wrong. Your neck will bother you for a couple of days. It's like, who beat me up? Who beat me up? You know? It's tough. It's tough getting old. And I'm not even old. I'm just getting old. I'm on my way there, you know? And it's fun though. My wife took a picture of me the other day. We lost power, so we were killing time. And we went to the library, and she took a picture of me reading. And I looked at it, and I know that we all have our own degrees of vanity, right? You know, but I looked at the picture and thought, hey, I look pretty good. Like, that's a good picture of me, and I think that's okay. I think you should attempt to take satisfaction in what you look like. You know, don't believe all these Instagram filters out there. And I was like, man, I was looking pretty good, you know, and my hair's getting some gray in it, my beard's getting some gray in it, you know, and I got my glasses on, and I'm like reading a book in a library, so I look very studious, very, you know, older and wiser than I was. Oops, sorry about that. I'm speaking of being old, I'm wearing a sweater. I totally embrace dad fashion when it gets cold. I'm not trying to look cool. I'm trying to be comfortable. Slippers, sweaters. Oh, it's the best. It's the best. You get to that age. You see those old men in the grocery store. They're just like sweatpants, and they don't care. They're like, I don't care. You know? Who are they trying to impress? Not you. Certainly not me. Okay, we're going to run into a bit of a problem I'm noticing with the lighter gray. So I'm going to help. I've never done it this way before, but because we're trying a new method with the time, I thought maybe we would group by color in one video and then kind of organize it in the next. I don't know if that's going to work or not. It's kind of a tough thing because I didn't have a plan when we started this channel. I just knew I wanted the video to be on the table and to primarily just focus on the Legos. That was something my producer said. He's like, the Legos are the star of the show, right? Not you. We don't need your face. You're on camera all week long. you know, yelling at people about video games. He didn't say that, but it's the spirit of what he said. And, you know, I didn't have any plans, so it was like when we started doing the organization, I just kind of rolled with it. But then recently we were kind of talking, and we thought, well, you know, we could probably afford to do shorter videos, you know? Let's try some shorter ones and see. Maybe the 15-minute mark is like more of a sweet spot with people. A little more consumable. Like you see like a build video and you see 36 minutes and you're like, holy moly, like that's a bit of a commitment. Now the vibe of the content works. So it's like once people get in, they're like, oh, I like this, or they'll come back and they'll, you know, resume. But we might find ourselves more, the word would be, I guess, approachable by maybe folks unfamiliar with us and our content here at the Brick Abbey. You know, they might say, hey, it's a quick video. I like watching Lego builds. Let me see what this guy is all about. And then they kind of start to vibe, and they're like, hey, this is kind of cool. I can kind of throw this on in the background. Or I had a guy say he was watching them. It was like a nightly ritual for like relaxing. And I thought, wow, that's something. I have just a couple of channels. It's just one really that does almost like this ASMR hand movement stuff. And there's different opinions on it, right? On what's actually going on. And there's people that believe that there's, you know, energy and healing and stuff from it. I find it to be unbelievably relaxing and just soothing. It's just such a great way to wind down. And I just love watching these videos. Sometimes I'll put them on when I'm writing my monologue for the next day, and they're just wonderful. They're so good. And I found her on the Tiki Talk platform. YouTube does not like the name of that platform, so we kind of try to avoid saying it. And her content's just really relaxing, just very enjoyable. She seems real nice. And it's just somebody sitting there doing, you know, there's people that do singing bowls. There's people that do all kinds of different content like that. And I just really enjoy it. And that's kind of a ritual thing that I have now formed that I do. And so it's like, oh, okay, I could see somebody doing that with this Lego content. You know, maybe they find the way that I talk or my voice or just the really chill music in the background as just a nice way to end their day. Okay, so this is going to end up being organization part 1, and I'll just sort of take a minute to pick. I'm going to try to pick zones here. It's always a little bit difficult because we want to leave a build area. It was a little challenging to remember to leave that build area. I've learned from experience that you got to be careful with that. You got to be real careful with that. Okay, so I think what we'll do is we'll congregate the gray ones kind of over here, and we're going to let the black pieces, we're going to let them live up there like so. And then we got our shinies. Our shinies here. And then we're kind of going to have the rainbow right here. See, you got the yellow and the orange and everything. I'm going to pull the tans down a little bit closer like so. And then, these guys can join the rainbow. They belong over here because there's only a couple of them, and they're a real nice color. Okay, so now we've got We kind of have our zones. That kind of looks nice. I didn't know that this is what I was going to do. I love that about this content. It's just sort of emergent content, you know? You just kind of go with it. So, hey, that's going to be the Mandalorian bust organization part 1. And hey, you know, let us know what you think. We'll see if I can actually get these organized in 15 minutes in part 2. Thanks so much for watching. I'll see you in the next one.